Hi, my friends, it's your tour guide to the sci-fi side, me, Preston E. And on this video, we're going to have a look at Mystery Science Theater, Volume 34. And what a pretty visual it is, huh? Shiny, black, basic, no art. Why is that? Well, Mystery Science Theater, Volume 34 became out of print around about a few years ago, and it was the one volume that I had left yet to purchase. But alas and alack, every Mystery Science Theater Volume 34 I could find on Amazon costs more than my car payment and my house rental combined. So what's a boy to do? He keeps on looking and looking, and he never gives up until he found a Mystery Science Theater Volume 34 on Amazon for only $25. Thank you so much, Boston Public Library, for this pretty version of its upside-down Mystery Science Theater Volume 34. And look at all the episodes we get. We get the She Creature, we get Undead, we get War of the Colossal Beast, we get Viking Women, and the Sea Serpent, all in this pretty package from a used copy of the Boston Public Library. So without any further ado, I present to you Mystery Science Theater Volume 34. First up, we've got the Viking Women and the Sea Serpent from Season 3. Before we slither onto that, though, we get the Invention Exchange. The Mads give us the meat reanimator that brings a dead chicken back to life. I knew of a chef one time that had a chicken on a cutting spirit board that brought it back to life. Talk about fouling up. Joe and the bots give us the flat iron for waffles that turns any waffle into pancakes. Now that's one delicious invention. Score one for science and breakfast. Before the movie, we get a particularly long short entitled The Home Economics Story. In this long short, we get to meet Kay, who wants to go to Idiots Out Walking Around State College. That would be Iowa State College for short. Since this is the 50s, her and her female chums, or would they be chams, will be learning about clothes making, sandwich making, and other makings too. There are also classes on nursing for feel-good makings. The Home Economics Story will get you excited about school, like these two cheerleaders.
Your high school team
Look at my crotch! 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 Look at my crotch!
This movie is a Roger Shutter Corman movie that shows us some fun, fierce, feminine power as the Viking women search for their man that are lost at sea. A Viking woman's work is never done as they have to deal with barbarians, slap happy jerks, and a sea serpent. This episode brings us more delicious goods as every segment is about waffles.
waffles.
Oh, we got movie!
And because of the waffles, I upgraded this episode from a 1 to a 2 out of 5 SOL Bones. I love waffles. Up next, we get the War of the Colossal Beast, also from Season 3. Before that, though, we get a colossally good invention exchange as the Mads give us Breakfast Bazooka. Breakfast in bed? How about breakfast in dead? Joe and the bots give us the between mill mortar and an exploding Twinkie guaranteed to make your food an explosive encounter long before it hits the crapper. The short in this episode is the famous, or should I say infamous, Mr. B. Natural, as Betty Luster stars as the androgynous spirit of music named Mr. B. Natural. And there is nothing natural about Betty and her high-pitched pixie voice and prancing around. as she haunts a young middle school kid named Buzz to teach him the joys of music. Mr. B. Natural teaches Buzz and us that music is fundamental, but it's just really mental with Mr. B.
Put a trumpet to your lips and it becomes pride, confidence, the mood of a happy king.
Oh my God, please say this isn't happening.
It's a happy king.
Mr. B, shame on you. Have you no sense of decency?
The clarinet's not just a clarinet, it's a happy smile.
He's so perky. Killer.
Really fun to be psychotic.
A trombone can let you show the world a big
Why, Joe? Why?
When you want to show dignity, Buzz, try a French horn.
Mr. B, what would you know about dignity?
When you want to feel as big as a giant, blow a sousaphone.
Now you're living in your own fantasy world. We're in a whole weird area here.
You can thank C.G. Khan for unleashing this hell-spawned scary fairy known as Mr. B. Natural to the world. From demonic androgynous music sprites, we get a scary deformed giant, as we now get the sequel to the amazing Colossal Man, called The War of the Colossal Beast. Grant Manning is back, and he is all grown up from 50 to 60 feet tall now. They grow up so fast. When we last left Grant, he was played by another actor named Glenn Langan in The Amazing Colossal Man. The Beast fell over a cliff in Las Vegas to his assumed death. But it takes more than that to keep a good giant down, because Grant is now back, but now played by Duncan Dean Parkin. In the previous movie, we thought the only person Grant had in his life was his fiancée, but he does have a sister named Joyce in this sequel. Grant has taken to eating the contents of food trucks in Mexico, and one food truck delivery man gets put in the hospital in shock when Big Grant attacks his truck full of food deliveries. That kid needs a raise. Being a food delivery person in Mexico really is a hard-knock life. Big Grant is responsible for a rash of food truck robberies and disappearances as he somehow hides his 60-foot-tall, facially deformed carcass in the mountains. I found myself wishing for the bread truck from the short Out of This World to show up. That would have been fun. This colossal maniac mountain man can't hide from the military as they drug him and ship him via jumbo plane to America. He is stashed away in an airplane hangar as they try to show him slides to trigger his memory, but I think he has accidentally shown the Mr. B. Natural short, which drives him even madder as it leads him to escape to L.A., where he wreaks havoc on a busload of school children. His sister Joyce is able to get through to him to save the kiddos and everyone else around.
I'll put him down.
Yes, but do it gently, Grant. The NBA Colossal Center then calmly puts the school bus down and is saddened when he realizes what he became. He then grabs a power line and shocks the pea-watering crap out of himself, and that is a lot of pea-watering crap, and colorizes the film right before it ends. Now that is power. Mike J. Nelson returns as Giant Grant from his previous portrayal of him in the Colossal Beast episode in one of the host segments. The episode has a highly memorable short and arguably one of the funniest ones in Mr. B. Natural. Though, for me, I probably still prefer A Case of Spring Fever just a little more. And the movie itself hits the cheesy monster sci-fi movie quota for entertainment value to give this episode a 4 out of 5 SOL Bones. Up next is The Undead from Season 8. The Undead is yet another Roger Corman, or should I say Roger Boorman movie. Haven't we suffered enough in this collection?
Oh, that's it. We're doomed.
This movie is one confusing, trippy acid trip that takes the viewers on a trip from a psychic's office to the very weird Middle Ages. The psychic in question hypnotizes a hooker and the audience with his boring delivery. When we go from the psychic researcher's office, everything goes from boring to confusing as the street-walking hoochie mama is transported to the Middle Ages where she lives a past life as an accused witch. I don't know, my head hurts. We get good witches, bad witches, and ma'am witches, a singing gravedigger, a stupid knight, a creepy, ugly dwarf, and a cavalcade of other misfits, including Satan himself, who looks like an evil version of Gilligan. Mike sums it up best by saying, "I've never known more about what isn't going on in a movie." Too true, Mike. Too true. This movie gave me a downright headache, and I give it a 2 out of 5 SOL bones.
All the king's horses and all the king's men, you can't put the witches together again.
You gotta see his annual Christmas show. It's beautiful.
And finally, we get the she-creature, also from Season 8. In this movie, like in The Undead, the hypnotic theme continues as yet another seedy dude hypnotizes another pretty young thing into past life regression. Here, the hypnotist turns his pretty young assistant into a sea creature and uses her to do killing for him. Some men just won't do anything for themselves, huh, girlfriend? However, a young researcher who is on the up and up goes to free her from his evil clutches. This episode brings back Tom Conway from a previous MST3K episode, 12 to the Moon, and I give this episode a 2 out of 5 SOL bones. MST3K Volume 34 is brought to you by the Boston Public Library, the letter M, and the number 10, which is a coinkydink because I give this volume a 10 out of 20 SOL bones. Thank you so much for watching, and please like, sub, and share. I've been Preston E. Garrison, and I'm out of here.
Well, the old clock on the wall says that that's all from the Stridex Medicated Band Hour.
It stinks!